So I'm going to say using Perplexity AI MCP, research the most recent job stats in the UK. In the UK, right? And then I'm going to say, then save the results to a CSV. I know Saul loves CSVs. Then I'll say something like, then create a I don't know, a SQL Lite DB with it. And lastly, I'm going to remind it because, why not? It's the orchestrator. I'm going to say use subtasks via new_task. You don't necessarily have to do this. I'm just reminding it how it needs to operate. You see I'm using thinking mode. I've got different options. I like thinking type models, reasoning models for orchestration, and I like instruct models for sort of the implementation of it. So I'm going to click go. Now, a couple things are going to happen. You can see the task is going to start here. Now, if it's kind of like starting a boat. Sometimes it takes a couple pulls to get the thing going. So what I'm looking for right now is the instantiation and a sub instruction. So you see here, it's going to go from the orchestrator mode in the bottom left, and it's going to switch to a MCP integration. So it's smart enough to determine each of the modes. And again, there's lots of modes, and you can actually customize the modes as well by clicking on this tab, and you can see different options available to you. I don't have a lot of time. If you want to do a deeper dive, I've got lots of videos online. But in this case, what's happening is it's going to go search. Now it's searching using Perplexity. I noticed it's using the wrong model. That's interesting. So what we'll likely see in this particular scenario is it'll self-adjust, and the error should tell it that it's using the wrong model. And in this case, let me try a different push. No, okay, I'm gonna tell it here. I'm gonna give you a little secret. There's a folder you'll see here called MCP. I think it's called MCP instructions. Yeah, where is it? MCP instructions. And I got a lot of stuff going here. Don't have a lot of time, so my apologies. MCP instructions, there it is. So what the MCP instructions does is basically tells it exactly how it needs to use the MCP. And what you see here is actually a common issue with MCPs. It's almost like it needs to self-discover the MCPs. So what I'm doing to try to speed up the process is I'm basically giving it a document, in this case, the document which I call instructions MCPs, that basically just tells it how it needs to use the spreadsheets and the Google. And in this case, I want it to know that it needs to use the model Sonar. Without it, it has to kind of iteratively discover that stuff, and you burn a couple bucks just in the discovery phase. This makes it smarter. So in this case, generally it should make it smarter. It didn't actually do it that time because the demo gods aren't smiling on me. So I'm just going to tell it. Use the model Sonar. I'll do this 1,000 times and it'll work every time until I have an audience, apparently. But again, I'm guiding it, right? It's not a matter of 100% being automated. It's this sort of iterative back and forth between me and the various sort of rules and structure of the system. So now what it's doing, it's using the Perplexity MCP, which apparently is timing out because I want to give a demo. But I went ahead and did this. I kind of went Betty Crocker on you guys, and I went and built this beforehand because you never know. So in this case, I'm going to run the final approach here. So this is a script that is pre-built that goes and queries the DuckDB, which I used. So in this case, if you go into the folder, I'm not going to bother with this at this point. It's trying to go create a job stats based on my existing data, which isn't a bad plan. But basically, in this case, it's interacting with the Google spreadsheet. And let's go back here for a moment. You'll see here there's a number of folders. The important ones that you want to point, if you're going to vibe on this particular repo, point it at advanced. You'll also see that there's a root folder here, and you'll see a tutorial.sh. So I'm just going to show you that quick because I think we're almost out of time.